Oh, it's March. We got a new big board. We got new rankings. Obviously, we got to talk about it. Our likes, our dislikes, where we differ, what we're smarter than the rest of the team on, all that good stuff. We're going to run through it all, plus an updated stock game, plus green room update. It's been way too long, folks. Let's party. Welcome to another episode of the No Ceilings Podcast. I'm Tyler Metcalf, joined as always by Tyler Rucker. Rucker, how are we doing?
Gosh, that intro hit different. He's back, folks. Unbelievable. Jason Tatum's back. Metcalf's back.
Yeah,
What a day we're having.
Bigger return, some are asking, not me. I would never dare, but people are talking.
I'm doing great, Metcalf. I'm just thrilled and excited to hear your voice again, and know you've been grinding in dad mode. So it's great to have you back. I'm excited for this one. It's gonna be a special one.
Turns out kids are needy. He's not helping out around the house at all. Horrible conversationalist. Just the worst. Like, what are you bringing to the table here, bud? And then he opens his big eyes and just kind of stares at you. And it's like, oh, you're adorable, and you're melting my heart right now. So it's all good things.
Yeah, baby's character concerns, big red flags, but then all of a sudden they kind of turn into locker room people pretty quickly. So
toughness very low. Not a tough dude right now.
It's funny getting those texts from you, because all of a sudden I was like, here's the itch. The itch is creeping back. And then you texted me at like 2 a.m. one night, and I was like, the itch is back. I see it. So it's pumped. I'm pumped to have you back. This is great.
Excited to be back, and we got a doozy today. We got a loaded show. We're gonna finish up with the green room that needs some serious updating. We got stock game updates. We missed a round, but we'll be back. We're gonna update it this time around. Again, baby throwing off the schedule. We were due to update it last time, but he came early, so it happens. But we got to start out with version 5 of the big board up at NoCeilingsNBA.com. Make sure to go check it out. See our big board rankings. Next week, we have a new mock draft coming out. Team has continued to put out awesome stuff. I had a Bennett Sturts piece go up today. There are a handful of film schools going up on the YouTube channel. Make sure to go over there, subscribe. And Rutgers going to start pumping out those end of year highlight films that you all love so much over on the YouTube. So make sure go subscribe. Best way to support us. Subscribe on YouTube, subscribe on Substack. The vast majority of it is free. It's the most consistent, in-depth, comprehensive draft stuff you'll find anywhere on the internet, and 90% of it is free. And if you can't afford the extra paid tier, you just get a little extra, and we appreciate you all the more. But let's dive right in. Starting 1 through 5, we're going to go 5 at a time with this new big board over at NoCeilingsNBA.com. Those of you watching on YouTube can follow along here. I'll share my screen. At number 1, still Darren Peterson. Number 2, Cam Boozer from Duke. Number 3, AJ DeBonsa at BYU. Number 4, Caleb Wilson at UNC. And number 5, Kingston Fleming's guard from Houston. I don't believe there's any change in the top 4. No,
I think we stayed pretty chalk for most of the top 10, which is, I want to say, is a little bit rare compared to previous years. Like this time, I feel like it's like the last big, like, okay, a little bit of movement, but I think this one also, the gap is narrowing pretty quickly, especially with the top 4. So it's getting spicy and interesting. It's going to get very heated with this No Ceilings team. And I feel like it with the public space right now, a lot of fans are getting passionate about these guys more than ever. So that's why you understand it. What were your vibes?
Yeah, and I love that we have the average rankings in here, because I do think it really shows how close a lot of this is, because Darren Peterson at 1.64, Cam Boozer 2.18, AJ 2.36, and then a little bit of a drop off to Caleb Wilson, but at 3.82. So that top 4 is really, really close. And then even bigger drop off to Kingston Fleming's at 5, who is 6.36. So you can kind of see amongst the team that top 4 is basically everyone's top 4. There's a little bit of variance, especially with the top 3, with how guys are ordered. But then at that 5th spot, that's where a lot of the versatility or diversity in rankings starts to come in. I was a little surprised that Darren still held the number 1 spot. He's still number 1 on my board. But the way some people have been talking in the group, I was kind of expecting that to waver a little bit.
Yeah, I've been one of those that was, I don't like changing my top 3 very much until like the end. I'm getting caught up on all the film. I feel like post March Madness, I clean slate, and I was even like, hey, I'm debating putting AJ up there, and then you start watching what Cam Boozer's doing, and you're like, gosh, man, it's Terminator. Do I put him at one? So
Yeah.
it's going to be one of these where I'm at the point right now. I'm like, okay, let's get past March. Let me start from ground up. But I do think all these guys, I get everyone's passionate about the 3 of them, even Caleb Wilson. Right before we hit record, Shams dropped a bomb that Caleb Wilson broke a thumb and out for the rest of the year.
Really, and I'm
Really,
pretty sure that
really
was a different injury because I believe the first broken hand report was his left hand, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so now this one was on his shooting hand
Okay.
during practice on Thursday, so he's walking around with 2 clubs. I'm assuming it's a little more sophisticated than that, but just a real bummer. But hopefully the timing of this, if there is a silver lining, is that it's going to allow him to heal up and get ready for the combine and workouts and all that kind of stuff and be 100% and not really have his pre-draft process totally disrupted. Hopefully.
Yeah, that's the hope. And I think Shams even said in there he's supposed to be cleared, so we'll wait and see. But I think there's a real debate of like the top 4, and it's not just who goes 1. I think it's any spot, any position, obviously the lottery is going to hopefully help us a lot, but I think that's the narrative around the league right now is this is wide open.
So with these top 3 guys, are you still viewing all 3 of them as legitimate franchise-changing cornerstone type of guys, or are you wavering at all in that?
I think it's all 4 of them.
Okay.
I think Caleb's up there. I think the upside with Caleb. Now, Caleb's is more of potential. You got to be patient, but the upside's with all of these guys. But I still feel that way, Metcalf. And I think Cam especially has been the one that it's like, well, is it up there with all of them? And it's like, well, at some point, the production is that impressive. The consistency has been that impressive. I always talk about like the off nights. Cam Boozer's off night was the first game of the year. And he ever since then, he's just been a machine.
Yeah.
I think he was like 3 for 12 the first game or 3 for 15 the first game of the year and still had a double-double. So it's just like, and that was the Texas game and where everyone started getting really worried about the finishing stuff. And, at some point he still has been fantastic. So I go back and forth. That's why I need to just catch up on the full slate and kind of see progressions. What about you? Where are you at?
Yeah. And I haven't wavered on these top 3 guys at all.
Yeah.
Which I think also kind of begs a really interesting question of if you were totally in love with all 3 of these guys and had them ranked 1A, 1B, 1C, what would it take for you to trade back 1 or 2 spots? If you landed that top pick, what would it take for you to trade back and take one of the other guys if you had them all pretty much equal? I know team context and positions and all that kind of stuff matters, but in a vacuum, would it have to be just an absolute overpay for you?
No. If I had massive cojones and it would take my whole staff being on board of like, we feel good about any of them. And it's like, well, hey, we've got number 1. If it's that close, someone's offering us whatever amount of picks to come down us 2 spots. Would be fine. It would take a lot. You'd have to be really like, hey, are we all in agreement in this? I'm also a big believer of like, go get your guy. If you fall in love with a guy, just go get him. Like, don't take the chance of somebody else jumping you. But
so you would be tempted to do kind of like the trade back that we saw from the Celtics or the 76ers when they got Tatum. Obviously there's a ton of intel work that goes into that, being super confident that the Lakers are going to take Lonzo Ball at 2, but it's super easy to look back on that trade in hindsight and be like, what were the 76ers doing? But Markelle Fultz was a problem in college. He was nasty at Washington. So like the trade up made sense from their standpoint, and it was kind of viewed as a pretty ballsy move by the Celtics. And I think they only got one future first
Mhm.
back in that. So if that's the price to move back from 1 to 3 in this, are you taking it?
I'd probably want more just because of the class
Yeah,
you're having. You're like, look, it's the situation it sets up is like a team at 1 loves Cameron Boozer and a team at 3 loves AJ DeBanza. And they say, come get him.
yeah,
And if you're now that team that drops back to 3 is saying, hey, we also love Caleb Wilson and we're going to get one of them.
yeah,
So, but it would be like, and it would be like, hey, Cam and Caleb knocked us out of the park with their pre-draft process. Their interviews we love both of them. It would take a lot. Now, at the end of the day, if I just absolutely loved them and I had the number 1 pick, I'd probably be like, I'm just taking them. But if
yeah.
you got overpaid, if you got a couple first rounders, that's a serious discussion. And I think Cameron Boozer, arguably, like every time I look at him as a prospect, I don't. We can move on after this, but I feel like he fits everywhere.
Yeah.
I feel like he just fits everywhere. Like every team I look
Yeah.
at, I'm like, they need a Cameron Boozer. They need a Cameron Boozer. That's where I'm at right now. I'm like, every team needs a Cameron Boozer. So why don't I love him even more? And I do love him. I have him at 3. I've had him there pretty much most of the year.
Yeah.
And it feels wrong. But I also love the other guys.
And I just think it's a really interesting conversation to have because in the quote unquote bad drafts, that's when we always hear about, oh man, like if you could get the number 1 pick and trade back, like that'd be awesome. It's like, okay, well, if this draft sucks and a team desperately wants to trade out, why would a team want to trade up?
Right.
And I feel like we only really see big trade ups when in drafts like this, where there are a couple guys at the top who teams are in love with across the board and kind of indifferent about who they land. So
Would you do it?
I'm in the same boat as you. It would have to be a lot. It'd probably have
I'd
to be
need
like
2 at least.
yeah, I'd need 2 plus, and it depend on what team I'm getting them from. Um, because and I'm a big believer of you have the number 1 pick, go get your guy, and get the best player available, and get someone who you can really build your franchise around. So it would have to take a lot, but if I was going to do it, this would probably be the draft because I think you can do that with all 3 of these guys.
It's a great gosh. Look at you back, just bringing heat out of the gate. You bring up such a great point. You would normally not do it in a different year, but this is the year you'd probably be like, if we're gonna do it,
Yeah,
it's this class because we still would feel like we're getting a number 1 pick and getting 2 firsts. I know we're throwing out a hypothetical trade, but like if someone wanted to say like, hey, AJ DeBance is going to save us, we have the 3rd pick, we got to go get him.
yeah,
Okay, let's talk. Give me 2 firsts. We'll come back to 3 and we'll still get one of our guys. That's where it gets interesting. And I do think because of the depth at the top and the firepower, yeah, I would entertain it, but you better be sure that someone's not leaping you to come to 2, or you know what I'm trying to say. Like,
right. So currently with the lottery standings, it's Sacramento 1, Brooklyn 2, Indiana 3. So Indiana's going to likely be good next year. So if they offer number 3 and 2 future firsts, like the next 2 future firsts that they can, but they're Indiana's first. Are you taking that, or are you like, no, you guys are going to be like that pick's going to be like around 25? Why would we do that? That like we don't see the value in that, or would that be enough for you?
yeah, no, I'd probably say no.
Okay, but if it was a team
Because
like
also,
Brooklyn or
yeah,
Washington or you know what one of those where it's
yeah,
like, all right, future's still a little more uncertain, exciting, but still uncertain. You would lean a little. The price for those first would probably be a little lower.
yeah. I think Brooklyn would be enticing. You also, you know, I don't want next year's first. That's where you also have to project. Well, okay, well, which years do we want? And it would be a really tough debate. At the end of the day, yes, I would be like, just I'm not. Look, I'm gonna get my guy.
Yeah,
Like so, if you're, it's also hey, job security. Like, how do you feel about the
true.
team? Blah blah blah. Obviously, if Indiana's trying to come up, you're probably like, well, this isn't going to be as valuable as Brooklyn or
Yeah,
Sacramento trying to trade up. So that's a fun little mind melter you just threw out, but that's why this class is even more special because I do think that That's going to be such a rumor. Oh my gosh, is that rumor going to kick?
There's going to be a lot of that.
So many of them. They feel great about the top, so they might move back a couple.
The Team X is actually thinking that Keaton Wagler could go number 1.
Yeah.
Might already begin some of that.
Yeah, we're already getting that too. Huh?
Okay, let's move on to 6 through 10. At 6, Michael Brown Jr., guard from Louisville. 7, Keaton Wagler, guard at Illinois. 8, Darius Acuff Jr., guard at Arkansas. 9, Braden Burries, guard at Arizona. 10, Nate Ament, forward, Tennessee. What stood out?
Michael's still at 6 to me.
Okay. Where have you moved him to?
It's not more of, it was just more, I've got him at 8. It's
Okay.
more of,
So you hate Michael Brown. Got it.
yeah, that's how this works. It's
Correct.
more of the teams staying firm there. I love Michael. I mean, I love when he's on, I'm like, oh my gosh, take him top 5. But keyword when he's on, he's just frustrating for me.
Mm-hmm.
I've flopped him. I think I have Acuff at 6. I think that's my. No, I'm sorry. I have Wagler at 6 and Acuff at 7. So I have these 3 just in different orders. What about you?
Yeah, and I've done the constant reorganizing of Flemings, Brown, and Wagler in 5 through 7 about 40 times in the last week. I can't quit Brown. I just still keep getting so many like Tyrese Maxey vibes from him, and I love so much about the process of how he's playing, and the assist numbers have still been great. He just can't buy a shot. And I don't think he's a bad shooter. I don't think he's going to be a bad shooter down the road. So if I still really like a lot of everything else, I love the speed that he plays at, the way that the playmaking has impacted Louisville, and the way that his rim pressure and foul drawing has skyrocketed from high school, combined with the outside shooting volume. I think there are indicators there that he's going to be a good shooter. And I feel like all of the concerns that keep popping up with him are exactly what followed Tyrese Maxey in that year at Kentucky. I'm not saying he's for sure going to be Tyrese Maxey because Maxey's turned into an insane player, but those are kind of the vibes that I keep getting with him. And even though, him having night after night after night of 2 for 10, 1 for 9, 3 for 12 outside shooting, it drives me insane. But I think he's a better shooter than that.
Look, I feel the same way about having Cam Boozer at 3 as Michael at 8. Like, it feels disgusting. I feel like I need to shower after, because every time I watch Michael, I find something else with this game I love. And when he is on, it is probably one of the most dangerous players in this class. Like, his heater is, oh my goodness. And it's not just, you could see in a couple games this year when he's vibing and he's grooving, it's not just like, oh, he's pulling from deep. He's throwing passes. You're like, oh, you're feeling it right now. Like, it's the ultimate flash guy in this class. And what I mean, like, you just get flashes of teases of like, oh man, look at this. And a lot of times why I like the end of the season review is because you get to kind of measure the highs of these guys. And when Michael Brown's on a high, it's up there with any of them. Like, he moves different. At 6'5", he is lightning quick getting around, screens and, snaking people. And the shot, yeah, I'm with you. Like, the shot's frustrating because you do get those nights where, like, the Duke performance, you're like, oh my gosh, like, stop shooting. but also he's open on time. He's trying to make stuff happen. And it's just been it's like him and Darren this year have had like the injury kind of painting a cloud over the talent. So I think some get frustrated, like, how is he still up there? And it's like, because when you watch him and you see some of the stuff he can do, it is up there with the top dogs in this class. Like, that's how special the tools are. Playmaking's unbelievable. It's just the efficiency. And then I sometimes watch that team and I'm like, not a lot around this Louisville team. Respect to that team. There's not a lot of
a lot of guards.
So a lot of guards. So I don't know. I think he looks like a guy that's pressing too much this year at times on the court. And sometimes I'm like, slow down. You're quicker than everyone. Slow down. And when he has his mechanics set and he's shooting straight, I think the shot's gorgeous. When he tries to do the Steph Curry shooting movement stuff,
Yeah.
I think it gets a little wacky. And I think it's a guy too that you clearly see when he misses time, he comes back and might, force it a little bit. Like the issue when it's like, no, just slow down. You got time. But he's just a frustrating one right now.
He is. And I think there's two very realistic paths for him to kind of go down. And if things start to click, I think there's a realistic Damian Lillard, Tyrese Maxey-esque outcome with him.
Oh, yeah.
I also worry that there's a Jordan Poole-esque outcome with him, and how he diverges on that path is, I think, is going to be really, really interesting, because I lean towards the former. I'm optimistic about his outcome. Everything you hear about him is really good stuff, but eventually the game has to slow down a little bit, and the shot has to go in. And if it doesn't, then it's going to get a little ugly. But I tend to be a little more optimistic. Someone who the internet is apparently not optimistic on anymore is Keaton Wagler. Boy, did I go away at the right time, because there was a ton of crap going on with him. My goodness. So Keaton Wagler apparently sucks now?
I don't get. You know what? Wagler is a really good. We're gonna have a fun. This is gonna be a lengthy one, folks. And I don't even care anymore because Metcalf's back. We're celebrating. Wagler, I think Sam Vecini on his latest mock even cut through a little bit of a breadcrumb of hey, some teams even have Wagler up as high as 2, and everyone's like, wait, what? How? Why? And it's because you got to look at Wagler's strengths and positives. And I think a lot of people just focus on why isn't he dunking the ball all the time? Keaton Wagler has everything that teams drool over.
Yeah.
You know this, Metcalf. Teams drool over positional versatility. They drool when you have a height advantage potentially. So we have this combo guard, point guard, floor general, fantastic feel, unbelievable shooter, great vision, great feel, great change of gears. I know he's not the fastest, but he has such a good understanding of usage of his gears and speed and breaks.
Yep.
I feel guys get teams foaming at the mouth. So I think Wagler, I think he could go anywhere and would not be surprised, because this is just what you dream of oh, this raw upside monster shooter that can also play with great feel and poise.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I've worried about the lack of strength and explosiveness all year. It's been a problem since day one, but we're also seeing him learn and adjust mid-game and already throw in high level NBA level type of counters to that lack of explosiveness by, getting into guys coming off of the pick and roll, using a lot of head fakes and being super crafty in the mid-range and around the rim and from the perimeter to create that space. So it's he doesn't have NBA level athleticism. He's going to be a bad athlete. His numbers at the combine are probably going to be rough, and people are going to be taking a lot of victory laps over it. But that doesn't tell you what type of player he is. That tells you what type of athlete he is. And I expect those numbers to be really underwhelming. I don't care, because the fact that we're already seeing this guy who had 2 power conference offers coming into the year have NBA level counters and shot creation and playmaking reads and scoring versatility already. It's my God, this guy's so far ahead of schedule for where he should be and where 99% of guys who come from a similar situation are at this point. So I'm super optimistic. I get that he's in a NBA style context, but why is that a pro in AJ Devonta's column when all I hear about BYU's system is, oh my God, Kevin Young runs some incredible stuff, and it's an NBA system, and AJ is going to be so ready from day one. And it's yeah, I don't disagree with any of that. But then you go to Keaton Wagler, and it's, oh my God, well, he's, they're playing a 5-out system, and, they're the NBA guys all over the place and elite bigs. Why is that now a negative for him? Does it make life easier for him? Yeah, if he was at a different spot where he didn't have any other help and teams could really load up on him and throw 2 to 3 guys at him, would it be a problem? Of course it would. But he's not. And day one in the NBA, he's not going to be asked to do the same things in terms of offensive creation. But once he catches up strength wise and gets that game experience, I think he's going to learn and adjust so quickly because we've already seen it this year.
Yeah, and I completely agree. The only other thing I'll say with Walker is like I think a lot of times with evaluation, and this is more my personal philosophy and stuff, but like you got to make a checklist of like, okay, pluses and negatives. Like if you focus on one negative and you miss 5 positives, you're not going to like a guy because you're going to be obsessing over this negative. Do I wish he was an awesome defender? Absolutely. Do I wish he was stronger? 100%. If he had both those as positives, he'd probably be going top 3.
Yeah.
So like this is a player that like we're trying to we're not scouting him for what he is right now. We're scouting him for what we think he could become if a couple things go right. Like what is he going to look like for his second, third contract? And I always think like, hey, there's certain weaknesses with a player that can almost like cancel out if you have enough going in the positive direction. Now, like, look, the athleticism concern, fine. But like he does so many good things on the court when it comes to high feel, footwork, pace, poise, shooting. Like it checks a lot of stuff that like I don't care if he doesn't dunk the ball all the time because he has so many parts of his game figured out and he's got so much upside. I think Wagler is a bad man.
Yeah.
I also think, look, this is a guy that was playing unbelievable. Kylan Boswell goes down. He took over the show and took it to another stratosphere with his play. That is the loudest endorsement for NBA teams. They're like, oh, when he became the full-time guy, his game even got better. Like, I think there's a lot of positives with this game. And I also think this is a long year. We get stretches where guys don't have, 50, 90 splits every single night. I think he rocks. I think he's fantastic.
And it just reminds me a lot of, sorry to go back down memory lane like I did with Michael Brown. But it reminds me a lot of what people were talking about with Tyrese Halliburton coming out of Iowa State. Now, Hallie was a much more disruptive defender. He was a much better like weak side guy, roaming and like jumping passing lanes and doing that kind of stuff. Wagler doesn't really do any of that, which is a bummer. But offensively, I think there are a lot of similarities there. Darius Akoff, just a bad man, just having an incredible year.
He's on fire.
Playing insane.
Sorry, Arkansas fans. We don't need to go in depth on that one. He's just been tremendous.
There'll be more on Akoff.
No, we're going to do
there's plenty
specific breakdown on him. It's going to be great.
We've talked about him a ton this year. He's playing incredible basketball. Braden Burry's one of the biggest risers, up to 9. Nate Amen at 10. Anything on these guys?
Burry's rocks. Absolutely love him. He's a dog. Got that dog in him. I think this is well deserved, and I think he should be a top 10 guy. I'm getting my Nate chills back.
Like the bad?
Yeah. I'm getting my Nate chills back. Worried, but I just the chills. I need to do some film, but I'm getting the chills.
It was a very fun 2-week stretch there, and
we're getting early season Nate back.
Yeah,
which is not
ideal.
Ooh, oh no. So I'm just saying I need to catch up on a couple more things, but I will lay that gauntlet down.
Okay, let's move on to 11 through 15. At 11, Yaxel Lundeberg, senior forward at Michigan. 12, LeBaron Philon, guard at Alabama. 13, Braylon Mullins, guard at UConn. 14, Jay Acquaintance, big man at Kentucky. At 15, Bennett Sturts, point guard, Iowa. Where do you want to go?
There's just a lot of scary stuff in this one.
There is.
Yaks, I've always loved the Yaks. I still like him up there. I'm not convinced. He's not going to go there. We've said this multiple episodes. He's not going to go there, but I like him up there. But I still love Philon too, and I just feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Like no one knows. Oh, Maxwell, I think me and Maxwell are just dying on Philon Island together.
Who's LeBaron Philon in the pros?
Good.
No, who? Because not all these guards are going to be good. We're not going to have 20 awesome guards. Like, is he Emmanuel Quickly?
Better.
Okay.
Give me names. I'll tell you better or worse.
Kobe White.
Better.
Okay.
Here's my thing with LeBaron, and if I'm wrong on this one, it's one of those like, hey, I'm wrong on this one. The year-to-year improvement's unbelievable.
Yeah.
He's
On
jumped
one
like
side of the ball.
I know, but like why are we penalizing him for like this ginormous usage skyrocket? And
I'm not. I still like Phylon a lot.
But
I'm just,
yeah, you know what I'm just saying. Look, I think this is a good range for him. I think he's a lottery guy. I think he should be a lottery guy. But I think it's tough because of how good this guard class is. It's like it feels like it's a slander at LeBaron Phylon because he's so much lower than the guys in the top 8, and I'm like top 9, and I'm like, well, he's there. I could see a team being like, we love him, and I just continue to think like what he's done this year. Look, this is a guy that was averaging 10 points a game last year. He's at almost 21, 22 and being pretty efficient, flirting with 50, 40, 80 this year. It's just an insane year for like how much more responsibility they threw at him. And that's why I think a lot of people focus on the defense. I was like, well, he was pretty scrappy defensively last year. I think it's just the offensive role and usage this year has paid a toll.
yeah. So I'm like one of my hangups, and I know that this isn't the exercise we're necessarily doing,
No, you're
but
fine.
like when I think about draft night,
Yeah.
and again, this is big board rankings, not mock draft. But when I think about draft night and where he could potentially go, we already listed what 4 awesome point guards ahead of him, and Michael Keaton, Darius Acuff, Braden Burries, and I don't think Phylon is that far off from those guys. But like Dallas at 7, I could see taking a guard. Memphis at 8, I could see taking a guard. After that, Chicago at 9, all they have is guards. Milwaukee at 10, maybe, but Porter
It
and
gets
Rollins have
ugly.
been playing really well.
Yep.
Portland, are they going to take a guard? Maybe. OKC's probably not, and they're just going to take their guy. San Antonio at 13, doubt it. Charlotte at 14, doubt it. Golden State, maybe. Miami, maybe. And then but now you're out of the lottery in that 15 plus range. So I don't dislike this ranking for Phylon at all, but one of these guards is going to fall a lot, and I do think he's probably going to be the odd man out, at least in that first kind of run.
One of these guards is going to fall, or this is going to be where we see some really big time draft like night trades of guys are going to go up to go get the guard because they're going to be like, he's fallen, let's go get him. And teams might be willingly moving down because you might get a team like OKC that's like, let me go back a little bit and we'll get a forward we have valued more or something like that. I don't know. But what are your thoughts? Hit me.
Who is Yaxel in the NBA? I know people who are really in on him have him like top 7, and I just can't get there. I like him. I like him in the late teens because he just does a little bit of everything. The shot has completely fallen off, but I think the defensive consistency has improved from last year. The offensive versatility is exactly what you want from your kind of modern 4. But like, how much more of is he giving you than like Rui Hachimura or Jake LaRavia?
I got to give a shout out to our boy Jonathan Wasserman. I think he compared him to Al Harrington. I love that comparison.
That's a fun one.
My counter to that is, where are you taking Al Harrington?
That was going to be my follow-up.
Yaxel's going to go later than he probably deserves. Yeah. I also feel like I saw something that like he might be one of the oldest potential first rounders
ever.
It's up there.
Yeah. It's not shocking.
Because Duarte was 23-ish?
I think he's 23 on draft night.
So, I mean, that's unbelievable. And it's just also like it's going to hit like a dang gauntlet. And I hate the age thing, but it's going to hit hard. The only counter I have to that is like the forward position. Me and you have talked about a lot. It's like it gets thin quick, but I think you're hoping you get like an Al Harrington really nice rotation piece that every team's looking for from Yaxel. And that's no slander to him. I loved Al Harrington. Yeah. We believe Warriors, baby. But what are you thinking? I mean, you're Mr. Blue. Like, is it
Yeah, well, I mean, their season's over. They don't have the guard depth anymore now that LJ Kaysen went down.
Mr.
So,
Positive. Me and you,
yeah,
Lions and Vikings fans, we know how to be positive right away.
sky is falling. Season's over. On to next year.
Who else you got?
But he's not going to go this high. But like, there are a couple teams in this range that I think he does make a lot of sense at. Just anytime you can introduce a 6'9", 240-pound guy who will willingly pick up the opposing point guard like full court and do a bunch of different stuff and really scale down and roll compared to what he was at UAB last year, where he was the pure like alpha and omega of that team, to now he's kind of just a role player and fitting in where needed. That's really encouraging for his malleability. And when you look at teams like OKC or even like San Antonio, Charlotte, Golden State, Miami, Memphis, in that 12 to 18-ish range, it makes a lot of sense. So if he is going to go lottery, I think that's kind of the range that it's going to be. I'd be floored if he goes top 10, but he's having a heck of a year despite that outside shot totally falling off a cliff.
I still would love him with a team like the Spurs. I think would be a really fun fit with just kind of that mentality of that roster they're building. Like I get what you're saying, like starting at 12, like on, you can see a lot of those teams making them, but we keep saying like, hey, I'll be surprised if Yoxa goes this high. And we just said like, hey, 12 is where it could start. If he ended up on draft night going in the teens and something, I think why our team has him so high is because everyone feels great about his ROI. Like they feel like no matter where he gets drafted, Yox is going to turn out to be a really nice piece at the next level. It's just, that's the thing with big boards where you're like, I love him, but we sort of know he might get, the gauntlet thrown at him and draft him much lower. Yeah, you're stopping on Sturts. Hit me with it.
No, I just that's 15. So, and any thoughts on Mullins, Quaintance, Sturts?
Mullins, I just stay patient. I still think that's a guy. If you're looking for a guy that's going to potentially blow up the pre-draft process, that would be probably at the top of my list. Woo! He's going to blow it. And I think some people are like, why is he just wait. It's a bad man. It's a bad man. So I think Mullins and a couple other guys or pre-draft guys are, oh man, they could just get scorching hot with one of those reports of like Mullins went 90% from the corner and shooting, or you know what I'm saying? Like, oh gosh, he couldn't miss a shot.
Yeah, he at the combine, he's going to have like one miss.
And then people are going to see probably the vert stuff and be a little shocked. And it's like, yeah.
The vert and the lane agility is going to be, I would anticipate being pretty good.
Yeah.
I just did a film school and a full written piece on Bennett Sturts. So if you want my thoughts on him, go check him out there. Anything for you on Sturts?
Trending in the right direction, I think.
Good player. All right. 16 through 20. At 16, Christian Anderson, guard, Texas Tech. 17, Koa Pete, forward at Arizona. 18, Thomas Houck, forward from Florida. 19, Miraz Johnson, big man at Michigan. And 20, Cam Carr, wing, Baylor.
Fun crew. Hit me with it.
And the fact that Christian Anderson's still putting up the numbers he is, even with JT Toppin going down for the year, super impressive. I still think he goes back because I think Texas Tech is going to be like, we dare you to turn down this NIL offer.
I could see he's going to go down to the wire.
He's going to have to go top 20, I think.
I love him. I think he's going to go down the wire. I think
vibes so good.
Vibes I've heard is it's going to be right on that fence. Yeah. It's going to be right down. It's going to be I think he's going to be LeBron final honor this year. Where we're going to wait and with pins and needles, like, oh, that's the tough part about this pre-draft process is like, hey, March, and then your workout, like combine sways it a little bit. You got to kind of show, and one strong workout all of a sudden could be like, well, maybe late teens now. I love Christian Anderson, and like me and you did preseason episodes talking about. You even said he's the sophomore breakout darling of this class. Shout out to Metcalf, smart. But we also weren't expecting the guard class to be a damn juggernaut. So I just think it's a tough year right now.
Where are you at with Koa Pete?
ugly. I'm in an ugly place. You know, like the movies where it's like, hey, this guy's got to really overcome some adversity. The Dark Knight Rises, when he's in the pit. That's me with Coop right now. I'm trying to get out of the pit. I can't. I'm just in a bad place. And I love Coop. I think he's really important for Arizona, and I like the type of player he is. I just don't know what he is right now at the NBA level.
Yeah, and the NBA people I've talked to have echoed a similar sentiment. I've struggled with him all year. Obviously, that Florida game out of the bat, he looked incredible, but then has been super inconsistent since then. Weirdly enough, that Iowa State game where he only had 4 points was my favorite game from him all year. I did a film school on it over on the No Ceilings YouTube channel. But it was all the little stuff that we've been begging for him to do consistently all year, where he was playing disciplined, consistent defense, walling guys up, using his strength, but also incorporating really solid fundamentals and awareness and processing speed on both ends of the floor. And I thought he made one of the biggest impacts in that game, despite only having 4 points. It's like, all right, if that's the guy we get every single game down the stretch, now we can really, really continue to talk about that top 20 lottery type of ranking that a lot of people have with him. But I think reality is a long way off from the idea of him, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'll piss some people off. He should go back.
You're not the first person that I've heard that from.
He should go back, and this is why. The first couple games he came back, you started to see a little bit of playmaking flashes.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, oh, man, if you could buy into that, get the rebounding numbers up a little bit more with another year, and just live on the three-point line all offseason. Look what Yoxel Lindenberg did. Now, I'm not saying he needs to play college for 5 years, but I'm saying, like, look how much better he got.
Yeah.
Just keep, like, Coop could be a top 10 pick next year if he bought into that. And, like, I think the playmaking vision stuff is there. But right now I'm watching him and I'm going, how is he getting it on an NBA court? Why? Because he's bigger. He's going to be 6'8", 235. So he's just going to be a lot of those body.
Guys in the NBA.
There's a lot of those guys at the NBA level. So, like, I've wanted to buy in on Coop. I love Arizona Wildcats. I root for him all the time. I watch Coop and I'm like, he's really important. They need him to have a chance to win the championship. But I go, well, what am I getting? Like, what's his NBA skill right now? Like, his mid-range? It's not even that, Yeah. And it's not like he's putting down 9 boards a game.
No, he's not.
We always want these guys to have the best position. And I just watch him right now, and I'm like, that could be the guy that stays. And he could get so much better in 1 year. And it's just me rooting for him. But, like, I think if he bought in one more year, he would get so much better because there is good playmaking feel and reads and stuff like that. But
like for him to really unlock a lot of that stuff is going to have to come through game reps. And if he's buried at the end of the bench in the NBA, he's not going to get that. Or like an NBA coach isn't going to give him the freedom to even experiment with that kind of stuff either.
Right. And so, like, I don't know how he's attempting 0.7 threes a game. He needs to go, like, if he next year was shooting like 3 or 4 a game and was shooting like mid 30s, oh my gosh, it changes the type of player Coop is so much.
If he was shooting 3 threes per game at 30%, that would be way more encouraging to me than if he continued to shoot 1 at 37%.
Yeah. So, and he's still so young.
Yeah.
So that's why he's just a tough one right now. When I'm looking at our big board, I look at Coop and I'm like, I'm trying to think of like how NBA teams are thinking. I'm like, why? Who is saying right now Coop's playing big minutes for us, or he probably spends first year in the G League, and that's no slander to Coop, but like I think he would have to be a guy that you're like, we got to put you in the G because you got to shoot it at least to a respectable level to unlock your talent consistently. And in that case, I don't know why he wouldn't just stay another year. But I know Koa's got some love from the last couple of years because of like his pedigree and everything. But it's just he's a tough one, and I don't mean to be sounding like a hater because it's the opposite. I just think this kid's talent could really skyrocket with some more seasoning.
Agreed. Thomas Houck, 18. My Sweet Prince, Morose Johnson, 19. Still too low. Cam Carr at 20. Anything on these guys from you?
I think Perez could be one of the first bigs off the board. Metcalf, I think you were cooking on that. One of the first behind Cameron Boozer, I guess.
We've been there all year. People be careful with that word big because people really struggle and
Internet is
and
fun these days.
up in arms about semantics and reading comprehension. No, I think for me he's the best big in this class. And folks, I have Cam Boozer and Caleb Wilson as forwards, so we don't need to go down that rabbit hole again. But
I think NBA teams are feeling the best about him. Safe.
And I think there's still so much to unlock on offense. I still really buy the shot. I think there are passing flashes that can continue to be unlocked. He's never going to be a guy that you just dump the ball to and be like, hey, go get 2 points. Never, ever going to be his game. But I think there's so much like pick and roll versatility that you can unlock with him. And one of our preseason takes that I'm glad has turned out rather well. Don't go look at some of the other ones. Just assume they're all right.
Yeah.
Anything else?
So we always do. No. Let's go. I know we're
okay.
This has been fun.
21 through 25. 21, Dalen Swain, forward at Texas. 22, Chris Senek, forward at Houston. 23, Hannah Steinbeck, big man at Washington. 24, Amari Allen, forward wing at Alabama. 25, Kareem Lopez, forward, New Zealand Breakers.
What do you got here? This is Spice City.
This is just a bizarre range. Dalen Swain, I get the intrigue. I still have some catching up to do with him, but if you're really behind into the idea, I get it. I think the threshold to really unlock that similar type of initiator role that he's had at Texas and at Xavier in the NBA is a totally different story. And I think it's going to have to take a pretty special landing spot for him to get that type of leash. But if you're really buying in, then a lot of the numbers, a lot of the skills, there's a lot to really like there. I like him a lot too, but probably in this type of range where once you get into the 20s or even late teens, then it's like, okay, now I'm way more intrigued with his skill set.
I've loved Swain since Xavier days. I think a lot of there's been a lot of fans about his, and the analytics back it up. But it's like, hey, if you can look at the analytics at Xavier, they're just great. His synergy profile at Xavier was almost just as impressive. So this is kind of the player he's been, and it's always been the funky shot, and he's a slasher with some size and power and strength and creativity. That's a kind of a playmaking defensive weapon. It's just, okay, well, if the shot never consistently comes around, where do you take that in a stacked draft? Look, things change from week to week, but for a while I've been hearing this could be a guy that's returning. So we'll see, because he's been playing great, and he could have the advantage of a thin position depth if teams are seeing him as a forward. But he's a fun one. I think he's going to be an NBA player. It's just putting them really, really high in a class like this, where I see like there's kind of like I don't think Dalen's going to go and be this type of player at the NBA level, because Texas right now is do whatever you want, and we need to lean on you.
Yeah, and I believe they have a couple kind of high level perimeter recruits coming in next year as well. And that's a school that has money too. So it's not like he's going to be going back for nothing. It'll be really, really interesting, because I could see a team falling in love with him, because there's a lot to like. But at what range, and does that make enough sense for him? Where are you at with Amari Allen?
Depends on what day I wake up.
So
I said
you kind of mentioned it with Koa Pete, but what is his NBA skill from day one?
I think you were hoping it's more punch from like a shooting and playmaking perspective, but I think he's kind of hanging his hat on the versatility, but like I thought we were going to get a little bit more of a heater to kind of end the year. Now we still could get that with the, March and everything, but that's another guy I feel like either the pre-draft process is going to be strong for him or he's just going to be on the fence and goes back.
So if I'm like, all right, Amari Allen is who in the NBA? Like, is his peak Harrison Barnes? Is he better? I think the handle might be a little better, like a little more passing there, but like Harrison Barnes has had an awesome career and he's a really good player. But does Amari Allen peak as like a legitimate third option on a team, or is he more of like a six man?
Harrison Barnes, who's in that stratosphere? Wilson Chandler.
I struggle with him. I like him a lot. This isn't like a Amari Allen sucks.
But you can't get to that next level,
right?
Which is where I can't get to.
He's a jack of all trades. He does a little bit of everything, but there doesn't seem like there's that one elite skill that could really separate him from the rest of the wings in this class, where like he almost kind of feels like Thomas Houck last year.
Now we're on a path. Yeah, I know what you mean. There's games where you're watching, you're like, oh my gosh, he's got 10 boards, and then there's games where he's was it the Vanderbilt game when Phylon went down, and then Mari just kind of took over and was like pulling up he was hitting like Paul Pierce elbow fadeaways. I was like, where is this coming from? So you kind of like get different teases all year, and they'd never kind repeat or match, if that makes sense. I feel like you're just kind of like, well, that game he was doing this. Yeah, I feel like you get a lot of good, and you're like, well, what is he? Can't figure this out. He's just the Riddler, basically. I know what you're meaning right now. Yeah, he's a tough one. There's always a prospect you want to get to that next level of like, okay, now I'm really starting to like him. And I feel like with him, I'm always like, roadblock. Like, I like him, but
why can't I love him?
Yeah, why don't I love him? I don't know. That's a good one.
Kareem Lopez, I still have a lot to catch up on with him, but seems like kind of a polarizing guy across the league where either you're super in or you just don't get it.
Probably, weirdly enough, I didn't realize it till right now, but Amari Allen and Kareem Lopez are basically like two-face of how I feel about him. Like I feel the same way. I like watch Kareem and I'm like, you hear one team loves him and you're like, what? And then I don't know. I feel like he's going to go earlier than this, but I also feel like this is kind of where I've been all year of like, I like him late first, but I think he's going to go earlier.
Okay, 26 through 30 at 26, Adai Mara, center at Michigan. 27, Pat Ngongba, center at Duke. 28, Josh Jefferson, forward, Iowa State. 29, Tunde Yesufu, wing at Baylor. 30, Isaiah Evans, wing, Duke. Where do you want
to go? Don't know. I don't know. I'm going to black out from this crew. Kidding, guys. Where are you at?
I'm close to being out on Josh Jefferson.
Oh, wow. Welcome back to the pod.
And by out, I mean like first round. I don't think I would go first round with him.
Understand that.
Early second, sign me up. But I don't think I would go first round.
Yeah. I there's too much opportunity for younger guys to kind of leapfrog them still.
Yeah.
I think Josh Jefferson kind of reaches, you always get this prospect that kind of reaches that ceiling where it's like, and look, for everyone listening, like when you get to your boards or your rankings and you're like, hey, I've got him at 27 and someone else might be like, I have him at 34. NBA teams like, yeah, there's not that much difference. That's exactly what they think. You can still take that in the first, or you can, he'll be if he's on the board going into day 2, it'll be like, oh man, that's a good value getting Josh Jefferson, but I could see him not going in the first, or I could see a team sneaking up into the first to be like, that's a great rotation piece for us. But I get it. I understand.
Pat Ngongba, I'm still struggling with Daimara, and he's just massive and blocks everything. But the utter lack of scoring touch and the free throw issues. Good news though, he's been on a heater from the line up to 52.1%. So you love to see that.
I don't know what the bigs are all. I think it's a good year of big depth. I don't know if it's a great like firepower big, but I think you could get some really good depth.
Yeah, and
Get a
I have
nice
both these
piece.
guys ranked a little higher than where we have them on the consensus board. And again, folks, this is consensus rankings of the whole team, not just us.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're two very weird players.
Yeah, it's a weird big class because it's like I think NBA teams are going to want all these bigs like somehow to be like on the board starting at the teens. So they could be like, all right, we're getting a nice piece. And then I think someone's going to try to take one of them early and it's going to be like, oh, panic mode. The big run's coming. But it's a good year of like, if you need a big depth piece, I think you could kind of find your type of, dream asset with whatever your style you're trying to put. But I just don't, they're tough to kind of pinpoint of like the upside and everything. Like I still like Hannes a lot, but I'm like, man, I'd still like to probably get him right outside the lottery because I just don't know how much upside there is. I can't wait to catch up on all of them, but yeah, puzzling one because I like Mara too, but I also just like
like
they're going to go earlier.
Just some major red flags, but then it's like, well, he's massive, an awesome passer, and blocks everything. Anything on Tunde or Isaiah Evans?
I need to watch the Houston game because it was a very loud box score from Tunde.
I hate watching this Baylor team. They are they're just a misery to watch.
I've gotten that text from Baylor fans. So that tells you how I feel about watching them. I'm Tunde and Cam Carr going to be two of my first films that I do like for the YouTube channel because I want to get those out of the way so I can be happy after I do the Baylor stuff. But
what a ringing endorsement.
I'm excited to watch them too because I feel like I'm low on Tunde, but I also just need to figure out Tunde because another guy where I'm like, should you go back? Should you? Like, I don't even know. Like, it's just puzzling. And Metcalf, I think Isaiah Evans has been like the quietest playing good and no one really realizes it lately.
He started to turn it around a little bit here. And I think the defense has been really consistent for a lot of the year. And he's doing more stuff off of screens and DHOs and all of that. I wish that 3-point percentage was up closer to 40. Obviously, what he did last year on lower volume was insane, but he's kind of given you a lot more to his game than anything he showed last year.
January, he was 17 a game on 44, 33, 90. And in February, he was 15 a game on 46, 43, 88. His splits have kind of kept coming back. He's obviously a little bit more just like, hey, he's back to the old Isaiah Evans of like buckets only.
Yeah.
And box score wise. But like, I also think it's just kind of like you're seeing some flashes and growth and like you said, the defense and stuff. Like, I weirdly think he's like quietly kind of reinventing his stock a bit with NBA teams. Cause I think, like we said it too, months ago, we were like, the shooters get thin in this draft. Like it's the Cam Carrs, and all of a sudden it's like, okay, well, who's with Cam? And it's like, oh, Isaiah Evans is still in that. So big pre-draft guy, I'm going to watch too. Test the waters at 100%. He might be shocked about how much momentum he could create.
All right, let's run through the second round rankings 10 at a time. So at 31, we got Tyler Tanner, guard at Vanderbilt. 32, Flory Badunga, center at Kansas. 33, Henry Vasar, center at North Carolina. 34, Malik Thomas, guard wing at Arkansas. 35, Ryan Conwell, guard at Louisville. 36, Billy Richmond, wing at Arkansas. 37, Terrace Reed, center at UConn. 38, Ibuka Okori, guard at Stanford. 39, Alan Graves, forward at Santa Clara. And 40, Ruben Chinyelu, center at Florida. What a group. Where do you want to go?
Dangerous group because I think they could all trend up and sneak into that first, and they all could be going back. Obviously not Ryan Conwell and Terrace Reed, but I love a Corey. I have him in my first round because I'm just going to have him in my first round until he says he's going back. But I hate, this is the time of the year I hate making a big board because I'm like, well, he might go back. And I'm just like, screw it. I'm putting my guys that I like, and we'll get them off the list after this. So I love a Corey. I think Flory's really been good lately. And man, Metcalf, I'm fascinated to see what Billy Richmond does.
Yeah.
I caught up on some of his
He's
recent
so
stuff
good.
lately, and oh my gosh, I would draft that first round easily.
Yeah, I have a first round grade on him.
Easily.
But
Love him.
also, if I was Arkansas, I'd probably give him 3 to 4 million to come back.
I'd give him the key to the city. Could be the mayor if he wants. Gosh, he's going to be
Could you
such a
imagine
fun pro.
him and Jordan Smith on defense next year?
Oh gosh, he's going to be such a
And then
fun
you got
pro.
Malik getting buckets playing off of them.
I'll say this about Billy. Beginning of the year, I was like, hey, I was talking to NBA team. I was like, hey, I'm all in on Billy Richmond, and I got like the exact excitement back. They're like, I absolutely love Billy. Whenever he teams are going to love him. Teams love him already, and whenever he wants to get in this draft, he's going to be a desired player. He's just a game wrecker with psychotic energy and makes so many smart reads defensively where I'm just like flipping my desk from excitement. I'm like, yeah, Billy. So, I love him.
Yeah, same. All right. Well, I was hoping you were going to bring him up, but we got to talk about Alan Graves.
Let's talk about Alan Graves.
Where are you at with Mr. Graves, who is putting up insane numbers?
I think he's having a fantastic year. The advanced numbers, awesome. Personally, for me, I think he should test and go back. He should go get feedback and go back because I think he could really make some momentum for next year. Now, I'm not convinced that's going to happen, but I'm just wait and see mode. But one of the guys I need to get caught up on fully because my first deep dive, I was kind of like, I'd still probably take him as a early second round guy if I loved him, but I don't know. It just seems like it's a puzzling one for me. And I understand all the advanced numbers are fantastic and sensational, but I don't know. I'm trying to, yeah. Go ahead.
So we should mention the advanced number stuff because his defensive playmaking metrics this year are absurd, and both block and steal rates over 5. And the only guys to do that, going back to 2008, are Chris Manon at Vanderbilt last year and Matisse Thybulle, who is one of the best college defenders ever. So from a disruption standpoint, Alan Graves is one of the most disruptive defenders in a long time. I think he does have really good hands. I don't think he can guard on the perimeter on ball really all that much. I think his fundamentals are kind of rough. I think he's an underwhelming athlete. The hand-eye coordination is great. I'm fascinated to see what his wingspan is because he'll get to balls and poke stuff loose that it's like, how did you even get to that? So I'm really curious to see what that is. But it also feels like he's just a really opportunistic defender a lot of the time too, who obviously is in the right place at the right time a lot. And there's a skill in that, but it also feels like some of those defensive metrics are a little inflated. My bigger concern is because I do think he has a lot of tools to be a really good team defender in the NBA, like a little slower Robert Covington type of guy, where Covington was an awesome off-ball defender. There were some on-ball issues there, but super disruptive off ball. And I do think there's a realistic path for Graves down that road. My bigger concern is the offensive end. How many of his 3-point attempts do you think are unassisted?
Oh gosh. Give me an over under.
3.
That's my over under?
Yeah.
Under.
Yeah, 0. None of his 3-point attempts have been or 3-point makes have been unassisted. How many pull-up jumpers do you think he's taken this year? Per
5.
synergy. 1. And it was a full court heave at the end of the half. So he doesn't have any handle. He has almost no on-ball creation capabilities. There's some intriguing passing stuff with him finding cutters, but a lot of it comes out of post-ups. He's been a good shooter, and he's at like 41% from 3. Spotting up, there's as a spot-up guy, pick and pop. There's a lot of really, really intriguing and encouraging stuff there, but the release is also really slow. So it's like I just don't know what he's giving you besides catch and shoot stuff on offense. And once he gets run off the line, can he do anything with it? And so far this year, he hasn't really shown much of that realm. So he's having an insane year. And when I've asked a handful of NBA people, it's like, hey, where are you at with him? And they're like, the numbers are insane. Like, I'm really intrigued. I like him a lot, but I think he should go back. And it seems like he wants to declare this year if he has a shot at realistically getting drafted. And I do think if he stays in the draft, I'd be surprised if he didn't go first round. But I think, kind of like what you were saying, I think he could make so much money transferring or even going back to Santa Clara if they have that kind of money. I think he could make a ton of NIL money next year and improve his stock and his game so much going into next year's draft.
I'm never trying to be like rude, but like when I watched him the first time, I was just kind of like, okay. And I was kind of like, this is probably a guy you taking mid to early second rounds. And then you kind of just see like when you slow things down and you're really diving deep, you're like, yeah, he's optimistic, like defender, like puts himself in the right position. Great. That's fantastic. But then you see the offensive versatility and I'm kind of like, I don't know if everything right now is translating to the NBA pretty easily because the athleticism is not, elite. There's a lot of like just backing guys in and really trying to over muscle. Like, look, he's got great usage of like getting guys to bite and shoulder fakes. That's fantastic. But it seems like a guy you'd be dreaming that is like 6'10" and a half is a full-time like 4 or 5 pick and pop Al Horford type of player, older Al Horford type of player. And, I don't mean this as like an insult, but like when I first watched him, I was like, is this Dollar Tree Cameron Boozer? Because it just felt like he's not as good of an athlete as Cam Boozer, but this is the similar playing style of like he's trying to be this post up. I can make passes out of this. I can pick and pop and shoot threes, etc. And the more I watched Graves, the more I was like, another year would do wonders for him.
Yeah.
And because like you could see there is tools to work on where it's like he could really be a big riser next year.
Yep.
But I watched him and I'm like, if you come out too early, this is a guy that never gets out of the G League. Like this is the guy that just sticks there. And like you're like, why can't he get called up? Why can't he get called? Maybe he finally does, but like he would just seem like a guy that spends a lot of time in the G the first year. And I'm not meaning that in the wrong way, but I'm just saying like there's so much good foundation to work with. I would want to get it some more seasoning and higher volume and more reps. And then I think, yeah, like absolutely he could be a guy that's going top 20 next year with a good year. But
totally agree.
I don't mean that to come off harsh. Like I think he's going to do the right thing and probably test and
get
feedback. You should 100% test, but it's
and I do think if he stays, I would be pretty surprised if he didn't go first round.
Yeah.
Not like
I haven't heard that.
Not like lottery, but like 20s.
I don't know.
With those numbers, someone will swing, especially if the testing is okay. Like if he has a +6 wingspan or something, someone's going to swing on him. And like you look at like Philly at 24, New York at 25, Detroit at 26, Boston at 27, Cleveland at 28. I think he makes a lot of sense there because he's not going to be asked to create or handle the ball or do anything on offense other than just knock down spot up threes and rebound. 2 things he's been really, really good at this year. And then be disruptive on the defensive end as an off-ball guy, as a team defender who can jump passing lanes and do all that kind of stuff. So, like, he's a very good rebounder, super disruptive defender. It might be a little inflated, but the numbers are what they are, and he's been a good spot-up shooter. So, like, those are bankable things that you can fit into a team relatively early. Do I think it's the best route? Not necessarily, but I would be really surprised, and I'd be tempted if he stayed in this draft. If I was a team picking at the end of the first round, I'd be tempted to swing on him.
I get it. Yeah, I get it. I completely get it. He's one I'm the most excited to get caught up on. The buzz I got is just teams are much lower, and once I do my final deep dive, I'll be like, okay, I feel good now. But it's just one of those where I'm like, man, this just seems like a guy that really could use one more year.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't me saying it about a junior. I'm talking about like I believe he's a redshirt freshman. So he's still young. Like, it just seems like the same thing of what's getting him on the court right now on the NBA level is advanced profile.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all I got.
Ruben Chiniello, I the more I watch, the more I love this dude. Just insane rebounding numbers. And some really fascinating defensive versatility for someone like he does not move like most 6'10", 265-pound guys. But just another kind of really intriguing depth piece to this big man class. Anything else on this range?
No, I think Ruben's a good one. I've got vibes he's gonna climb.
Okay. Let's jump on to 41 through 50. At 41, JT Toppin, forward at Texas Tech. 42, Ivan Karchenkov, forward wing at Arizona. 43, Modius Krivas, center at Arizona. 44, Zubi Ejiofor, center at St. John's. 45, Dame Sar, wing at Duke. 46, Alex Caravan, wing, UConn. 47, Neoclis Avdalas, wing, Virginia Tech. 48, Braden Smith, point guard, Purdue. 49, Juke Harris, wing forward at Wake Forest. 50, Milan Momcilovic, forward, Iowa State. What stood out? What excites
Headache
you?
City. I know this is we're going lengthy here, so we can speed this part up. But where are you at? Neo.
The fall of Neo has been
unbelievable.
A lot.
It's been a lot. Yeah.
And I don't think it's unwarranted. I have him a little higher than this still, but not by much.
You should go back.
Dame Sar, I think, is a guy who could really rise a ton with a deep Duke run. His defense this last month has been insane, and he's starting to knock down shots from the corner. And if he can just do that consistently, get out in transition, get some easy buckets, he's going to be an easy guy for people to fall in love with. And then Krivas, I think, is the other big man who's going to rise a ton. I desperately need him to start making layups. Important skill to have, but
I want to buy in so easily because
like his defense and rebounding is just so good.
He'll go first. He'll probably go first round if Arizona has a nice little run. He's listed 7'2", 260. Seeing him in person, it somehow seems like a lie because he might be 290. He is gigantic.
Yeah.
And he is a space eater. And I really like just how simple the buy is with Krivas. Rebounding, shot blocking, boom, done. If he could just finish plays more consistently, it would be so easy for me to just be all in. But I've seen a couple games in person, and I can't have 7-3 almost missing bunnies. So he's frustrating, but I also would like 100% take him if I was a smart team in the first round because, look, there's been some really good success with gigantic human beings lately in the NBA. With Donovan Kling and Edie, whoever you want to say. And I think it's a valuable asset at worst. Like, it's a valuable piece to have as a rotation big. So Greaves has been great.
Talk to me about Karchenkov because some on the team are really, really getting excited about him. I don't think he's anywhere close to being a ready for
No,
this
he
year.
needs another year. But if he declared, I would draft him in the first round. I would not even think
Wow.
about it.
Wow. Okay. So
Metcalf, I love him. He is.
what does he do on offense?
He's that's why he needs to go back.
Right.
No, I'm being serious. He's a 3 and D right now, but the D is a bad man defensively.
Well, and the 3's non-existent.
The 3 comes and goes, but the shot, seeing it in person, I buy the shot. It's going to come around. It's going to be consistent. If he goes back, adds a little bit offensively, gets some just fine tuning, and that shot gets to 36% ish on higher volume, he's going to be one of the better 3 and D prospects we'll see in a while. He is, and he's 6'7", 220, but it's like natural country strong. Like if he went and put on 10 pounds of just like maybe even 5 of just like a weight program off season with like he gonna be a bad man. He's a really, really good player. I would love him to have one more year. He'll be a top 20 pick. He could play, winning player. But I think this is just going to, a lot of guys are watching him right now and being like, I love him. I love him. I will, as an Arizona Wildcats fan, I am saying he should test the waters, go get feedback, and I will personally fly him back to Tucson if he needs me to. I love him, but one more year would do wonders for him. He's a really good player. He's going to play at the NBA level for a long time.
For sure. All right, let's round this out. 51 through 60. Where are we at here? 51, Alex Condon, forward center at Florida. 52, Richie Saunders, wing at BYU. 53, Zvonimir Ivisic, center at Illinois. 54, Emmanuel Sharp, guard at Houston. 55, Paul McNeil, wing at North Carolina State. 56, Dash Daniels, guard at Melbourne. 57, Malachi Moreno, center at Kentucky. 58, Bruce Thornton, guard at Ohio State. 59, Andrei Stojakovic, wing at Illinois. 60, Jaden Bradley, guard, Arizona.
Where do I start here? Emmanuel Sharp continues to be too low.
Yeah, I love that dude.
Love him. Apparently his head coach loves him too, because basically was crying. So give me Emmanuel Sharp in the second round anywhere and I'll be happy. But I love Emmanuel Sharp. What are your thoughts? Can you help me figure out Alex Condon? I haven't watched a lot, but every time he just puts up good numbers lately, it seems like I'm like, Alex Condon did what?
he just keeps playing really, really well. And I have no idea what to do with him.
I haven't watched, like, he's one of the guys, there's always a guy that just slips through the cracks throughout the year. And I feel like I've watched the least amount of Alex Condon films. So I'm about to legit like do a mega dive and I'm going to be like, what have I done? But I mean, he's been playing great. Also, I have one final thought and then we could move on. This has been a great episode. I think we might need to create an award for one of these guys. We have an Ashton Hagens award. Shout out Corey's Holbo. I think I might create the Dash Daniels award.
Okay.
He has been shooting 30% from the free throw line like the entire season. I've never seen anything like it. It's one of my favorite stats ever. Every time I'm putting together the big board, I start laughing. I'm like, what's Dash at? I think he was 40% and he went down to 35. So like,
that's tough.
Look, if he got drafted, is it going to be the first time ever a guard's got drafted by shooting 30% from the free throw line? It's an unbelievable award. I'm not trying to make fun of Dash Daniels. I think it's because of the volume at the free throw line is so low. He's at 0.9 free throw attempts per game. But it's so funny of like every time I'm like, it's got to just get to the free throw line once and you probably are going to go up to 60%. And then all of a sudden it's like, it's still there. We're in March. It's at 35%.
I think he should not declare this year.
There's no chance.
Especially since he's so young too.
He's taken 31 free throws in 36 games. It's just my favorite stat I've ever seen ever. I'm like, the Dash Daniels award is amazing.
Yeah,
but he's got. There's no way he should declare. No way. Unless he's just like stash me. But why wouldn't he go to college?
I like that a lot. That makes a lot of sense.
That's what I'm doing with every international guy now. Why wouldn't he go to college? Why wouldn't James Najee go to college? Oh, it's never old. still ridiculous, and it's never old.
Why didn't Mika Murinen go to college? Oh wait, too soon.
Big
Okay.
date rumors I saw the other day, and I was like, we're back.
And any honorable mentions, guys who
Oh.
didn't make it that kind of surprised you that you have higher? Oh, that's the wrong layout. Classic.
It's okay. It's fine. Kadir Copeland, I still love.
Oh, yes.
Lamar
Who Jam
Wilkerson.
Hines just wrote about the other day. So go
Yes,
check that out
yes.
at NoCeilsNBA.com.
Lamar Wilkerson, Nick Martinelli, Johan Grunlow. I'll be interested to see what he does. What else? Anyone for you? Deshane Montgomery. What the heck?
Yep. Deshane Montgomery still.
Sergio De La Rey.
Why
am I the only one that likes Sergio?
I have him at 46.
I do too. Are you serious?
You're kidding me.
We're so back. We've never been more back.
We are back. Seth Trimble. I love that dude. Killian Torrey, I think he should go back, but I have him in my top 60. That his defense is just insanely good.
I kind of want a couple of those guys to just go to the combine and just play in the scrimmages just to piss people off and then be like, I'm going back, but I'm going to make your life a nightmare for next couple days.
That one guy who's on like the Portland Generals at Hoop Summit every year, where it's like
so true. Torrey's gonna be fun if he goes to the combine and be like, "Don't play, just pass the ball." If you face Torrey, don't try it.
Dwayne Aristotle can't quit him. I don't know if you caught that Iowa State game, but
I'm always watching.
If only he was doing that in like December. I think it's a little too late for Dwayne. I don't think he's a this year guy, which is
if he somehow goes back and Karchenkov's back, oh gosh.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. Them and Koa Pete are going to be an insane trifecta.
I feel bad. Arizona fans are going to come after me, but I would love another year. Koa.
Last name, Price Sanford in Nebraska, I think that's a good guy to keep an eye on. He is having an insane year and is shooting lights out, and it's like legit NBA level movement stuff.
There's some wild cards I have listed that I'm kind of like, I wouldn't be surprised if a couple names test the waters that I'd be like, I'll watch out for a couple of these guys. Like the deadline's gonna be really, really fascinating this year. But I think, guys like Sanford, but there's also some young guys that I think could be a little bit of a shocker of like, he's gonna stay in.
Yeah.
We'll see. But I obviously the NILs, let's pump the brakes until we figure out we get past that deadline.
Agreed. All right. 2 segments left. I know we're going super long, but these episodes always go long. You guys know what you get into, and that's what timestamps are for. So you're welcome. Stock game. Let me bring that up.
You know what? I have to admit right now, it's a baby gift for you. You're just taking me to the woodshed. You had sent me the numbers this morning, and I was like, oh gosh, man. But it's a baby gift.
It's all because of Keaton Wagler.
Yeah, I was like, Wagler's literally carrying you. I was like, oh.
I got the Dimar making me some money. I got some other guys making me some money, but there's one outlier penny stock here. I
was like, where do I pull my miracle off? And then all of a sudden I was like, oh, he's got Wagler. I'm screwed.
Yeah. So in case you're new, the stock game is based off of our big board rankings, based off of the average ranking. So it's players 1 through 60, and we take their average ranking and base it off of a base price of $100. So if Darren Peterson's average ranking was 1 overall, his price per share would be $100, but his average ranking is 1.64. So his price per share is 60.98. If they don't make it into the top 60, they are considered a penny stock. They're $1 per share. And we both started the year with $1,000 in our portfolio, and we can buy and sell guys based on how we think their rankings are going to change. And the final ranking we can sell whenever, but the final sell price is based off of where they're drafted. So if we think a guy might withdraw, we might need to sell him before he does sell. And once one of us buys a guy, the others can't invest. So Rucker, let's just get the sales out of the way. Anyone that you want to sell?
I'm gonna be quick with this one because of how lengthy we went on the big board segment, and I actually prepped for this instead of just debating. So everyone that loves the stock game will be faster. I'm gonna sell all of my Kingston Flemings. It's been a heck of a ride, Kingston. You are my knight in shining armor, but I don't think you're gonna get higher than where you at right now. So just give me that profit just to try to catch up to Metcalf.
So you bought him at $4.88 a share. You are selling him at $15.72 a share for a total sale of $864.60, which is a $596 profit. So you got $865 now in the bank to work with. Anyone else?
And then I'm going to sell all of my Cameron Carr. And I am proud that I bought some of these other ones last time. So good job for me. But we'll get Cameron Carr out of there. Who else? Oh, man. It's unbelievable how big of a pre-draft process this is going to be for Braylon Mullins, not only for him, but also for my team if he just goes nuts and somehow gets up there. I think I'm good. I like my Burries. I like a cuff still.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Let's just keep it there. And yeah, I'm fine.
Still clinging to a Corey stock.
Well, Corey's tough because I want to sell, but I'm like, what if he shockingly is in? Will that spike his ranking a little? So like, I'm trying to be like, well, only $40. What's that really going to do for me right now?
Hey, and 25.
Yeah, sorry, I keep forgetting I have them two different spots. You could just sell Superi and Uzan to just get them off. I don't think they're going to stay. And
you're gonna sell Uzan?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, just get rid of Mario.
Okay.
All right, and then I'm good. We'll keep it simple.
Okay.
Speed things up.
See,
gosh dang it, your Wagler is an unbelievable purchase.
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna just cash out on Henry Vasar because for some reason the team just hates him. Don't get it, but here we are. So I'm going to sell him for a $56 profit. Not much, but here we are. I'm going to sell Keaton Wagler. Not all of him, but a lot. I'm going to sell 250 shares. So I bought him for $1, selling him at $13.59 for over $3,000 in profit.
It'd be amazing if one year we added a way where I could just bet against your bets. Like shorted.
Like if we could short guys.
If we could short each other's guy, that would be kind of fun wrinkle of like, and look, now I just leveled the playing field because now I'm just like, well, actually, I'm going to spend the rest of my money short.
or just even shorting guys based on rankings that we totally disagree with from earlier.
100%. So I think that would be fun.
I don't know how to do that. Someone smarter
Maybe we could do like
I'll figure it out.
You could pick one per round or something where you're like, I think they're going to go down.
All right, so I'm
going to skyrocket
that Amari Allen stock, and then I'm going to sell 200 more shares of Amari Allen. So I just made, what was that, $700 in profit off of Amari Allen. I still have 50 shares of him, still have 50 of Keaton Wagler. I'll clean that up later. Josh Jefferson, I'm selling all of it. So he is available if you are intrigued. Eric Reeby, goodbye. 20.
Reeby was a fun shout. It'll be a fun one next year.
Yeah. Torrey. De La Rey I'll hold on to because I think he's probably going to get drafted. Merez, I think he's going to climb higher. Okay. I think I'm good. All right. I'll let you take first buy.
I didn't. I got excited for like half a second today because I was like, does Metcalf somehow not have Merez? And then all of a sudden I was like,
Oh, you fool.
oh, there he is. Man, the top 10's pretty tough because I feel pretty like I don't know if this is gonna. I'm gonna say give me oh man, we gotta make up some ground here. What do I have, Metcalf? I'm sorry.
You have $1,795.94.
That's me or you?
You. I have $4,700 to work with. So
I want. I need to catch up here. I want 200 shares of Krivas.
All righty. Oh, he was on my list. That's a good one. You said 200?
Yeah, I need to try to make up. I need to try to pull a miracle off here, folks.
Okay.
Oh, do you have? Gosh, dang it! Why do you always have the guys that I want at the very end? Go ahead.
Okay. I'm gonna go Ruben Chignello.
That's a good one.
For $2.07 a share. He's a senior, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Oh my god, I just have too much money to work with.
Oh gosh, I hated that comment.
I'll
I'm
go
sorry, Ruben,
400 shares of Ruben.
Ruben is a junior.
Oh god. There's no way. There's no way that he goes back, right? Oh, I guess there could be.
I don't know. I mean, he seems like he's got a really good skill set and that
I'll go
physical
300.
profile to kind of make some noise. Also, I'm convinced Florida's going to make a really deep run.
Yeah. They look so good right now.
Yeah, they're cooking at the right time, which is always.
It's so reminiscent of what they did last year down like in that final month. All right, who are you going with? You have just under $1,400 to work with.
This just gets really like. I had another name and I really am blanking right now. Gosh, man, it's so tough looking. I gonna punch myself for this, but give me how much money do I have, Metcalf? Sorry,
For $1,389.94.
Give me give me 200 shares of Kareem Lopez.
Okay.
I'm swinging. I'm all in. I'm just swinging.
I think he's going to go higher than 25 or 24.
I know, and I gotta swing. I'm swinging for the fences now that I gotta try to catch up to you. Gotta swing.
I am going to go Alan Graves.
Oh, that was my other one I was trying to weasel. Good pick.
$2.08 a share. I'll go 300 shares.
I've got 577.
Yep.
Just because I'm a psycho that loves pain, I'm gonna go 100 shares of Dame Sar.
Oh, that was
a miracle deep run, and he gets hot for a month, and people freak out about here it is. Dame's back.
He was next on my. He was next on my list. That complicates things a little bit. I'm gonna go ultimate wild card swing here. Freshman from USC. I'm going Elijah Arenas.
You just won.
Dollar a share. I'll go I'll go 1,000 shares because I'm trying to catch up to a couple no ceilings plus subscribers.
I hated that. That was the ace in the hole I needed. I'm gonna have to hire an assistant GM next year. Be like, hey, I don't have enough time to give this full focus. I need your strategy. Anyone wants to apply, let me know. And we could write this ship together.
Okay. So you still have $375 left. Anything you want to do?
No. Let's
Okay.
keep it short and sweet. You know what? Just because I have to feel good about this or something with this, I can't believe I'm going to lose another year. I'm going to go 100 of Billy Richmond and call it a day.
Okay.
My sweet boy, Billy.
I love him so much. Where is he?
He's at a 39.18,
too low.
255 a share.
Oh my goodness. I'm gonna go AJ Debonsa.
Such a good spicy FU to me right there. Oh, that one hurt.
All right. His average ranking is 2.36. I probably should have done this last time. But as long as he goes 1 or 2, I make a profit. So I'll go 20 shares of him. And that still leaves me with plenty left over for future. You good? Anything else on here?
I'm good. Thanks.
Okay. Well, you know what that means.
Yes.
It's time for the most exclusive club in the basketball world, especially the niche basketball world. It is the No Ceilings Green Room. No more than 14 get in. It's not our lottery rankings. It is based on pedigree, vibes, upside, production, vibes, all that good stuff. Currently in are Koa Pete, Caleb Wilson, LeBaron Philon, AJ Debonsa, Darius Acuff, Christian Anderson, Kingston Flemings, Keaton Wagler, Merez Johnson, inline Cam Boozer. I forgot about that. Thomas Houck, Tyler Tanner, Josh Jefferson, Amari Allen, Braden Burries, Dalen Swain, Nate Ament. We got some updating to do.
Okay, one more time. So I've got Koa Pete, Caleb Wilson, LeBaron, Carr, AJ, Acuff.
Carr's out.
Carr's out. Christian Anderson, Kingston, Merez is in.
Yeah. So,
and then give me the line one more time. Sorry.
So in the club, we have 9 guys: Koa Pete, Caleb Wilson, LeBaron Philon, AJ Debonsa, Darius Acuff, Christian Anderson, Kingston Flemings, Keaton Wagler, Merez Johnson.
Okay, so we have 8 guys. Koa Pete, see ya.
I'm
sorry.
He was clinging to life.
He was clinging.
For a while.
He was clinging before that.
He had a good run. A good run.
Great run. And then line one more time, because I'm sorry, I have Wagler in line. I was like, he's not still in line.
Cam Boozer.
Yep.
Thomas Houck, Tyler Tanner, Josh Jefferson, Amari Allen, Braden Burries, Dalen Swain, Nate Ament.
Okay. It's been so long. Wow. We got some work to do. Okay. Thoughts. I love the Cam Boozer point made it even funnier with everything that's going on, your return, and you just giggling because we forgot about it. I also forgot that he was still in line.
I think Josh Jefferson needs to get out of line.
I think Josh Jefferson's gone. Okay. Perfect.
Anyone else getting booted? There's one other name that
Amari Allen for me.
Oh, okay.
Or
I'm good with that. Nate Ament.
Oh, it's so tough because he's like bounced back and then cooled.
Okay, let's give him a week. Who do you want to put in line?
That's an even tougher question.
It is.
Gosh, I like everyone in. Jeez.
I'm gonna put Ruben Chignello in line.
Ruben's a good shout. I'll put Ruben in. That's good.
And I'm just talking about in line right now. Still a lot of work to do to get into the club.
Goodness.
I'm going to put Billy Richmond in line.
I was just going to say Billy. I think that's great. Okay.
Oh. Also, we got to boot Caleb Wilson.
Oh, no.
He's hurt. We can't have a guy with 2 broken hands in the club. Are you kidding me? You'll be spilling drinks everywhere.
Oh, devastated.
That one hurts. That one hurts. There's still time for him to get back in, but
is there?
Rules are rules.
Yeah, pre-draft process, he can get back in. Okay, he's out. Oh gosh, Caleb, my sweet.
Sorry, bud.
Caleb. Man,
get healthy soon.
Okay, Caleb's out. Wow.
There's a notable omission from both. Do we want to put Darren Peterson in line, or are the vibes just not good enough? I still have him at 1, so I'm unfazed, but
I thought the Arizona State game, which was the oh my gosh, did you see Darren Peterson's box score last night? It was disgusting. Was like one of my favorite games I've watched in a long time because he was like everything I wanted to see from Darren. Like he was pissed off trying to like will his team back, playing with emotion. I think people will say we're biased if I say he should be in, but like
I'm going to put him in line.
I think he's in line.
Yeah.
He showed a lot of heart. It also should have shut a lot of people up that think he's not trying to play or he's like
no, he doesn't care.
You could tell he cared.
No, he doesn't care. What are we talking about? Sarcasm, folks. Okay, are we good with the line?
No, I'm going to put his teammate Flory Badunga. I think needs to be in line. I think Flory Badunga has been playing great. I'm pretty quickly buying in. I think he should be in line. That's probably the last one I have for line. Unless you got any other ones, I'm all ears.
I don't think so.
Okay, it feels like the other ones I'm kind of pushing.
We'll get some wild cards in conference tournaments here in the next week or so, but
oh my gosh, I can't believe we got Caleb Wilson out. Wow.
It hurts.
Flipped on a drink.
Rules are rules. And he's walking around with two casts on.
Yeah. Slipped on a drink. We're like, hey man, we can't be having guys in here with casts.
Although if he just has like the hat with the straws coming out of it, now are the vibes back?
Yeah, but like no one brings that. So he might leave to go get that.
All right, who are we putting in? We got to put Cam Boozer in.
Yeah, I can't do it anymore.
The bit was fun while it lasted.
The bit was really fun. The bit lasted until March. It's an unbelievable bit. But the Cam Boozer,
he's too good.
Okay, the bit's over. He's surpassed. Like I don't even need him to win Player of the Year now to get in. I'm just like you've been that good.
Let's put 2 more in, so we get to 10. Since we missed some time.
I think Tyler Tanner should get in. He just had an unbelievable game.
Okay.
I know it's bold. It's bad. It's very bold, but like Tyler Tanner, probably one of the loudest games he had. I mean, it was an unbelievable game. And then I think Burry should get in.
That was the name I was going to say.
Burry's been playing sick. I think played with like bronchitis against Baylor, put up an unbelievable performance. He's got that dog in him. So we lost a dog with Caleb Wilson. We put a dog back in, or we put 2 dogs back in with Tyler Tanner and Braden Burries. Gosh, right. Caleb, that hurt.
We're up to 10. And
we're up to 10.
We're getting there. So currently in there, LeBaron Philon, AJ DeBonsa, Darius Acuff, Christian Anderson, Kingston Flemings, Keaton Wagler, Merez Johnson, Cam Boozer. Welcome to the party, pal. Tyler Tanner, Braden Burries. Feels good.
It's great.
Be fascinating to see how many of those survive, but that's where we're going to wrap it. This was a long one, I know, but that's why we got timestamps. Good to be back. This was really fun. NoCeilingsNBA.com, best way to support us. Go subscribe there. 2 different, there's 90% of it is free. It's the most in-depth, comprehensive, consistent, entertaining draft content that you will find on the internet. And if you're looking for even more, got paid tiers. That gives you access to select articles and our individual big board rankings, our Discord, all that good stuff. No ceilings on YouTube. The videos keep churning. Got a bunch of film schools in the works. Rucker's been doing awesome work with Off Night and Tape Time, and he's got season highlights coming up, and all of our podcasts are there to watch as well. But we'll be back next week. Until then, he is Tyler Rucker. You can find him at Tyler_Rucker. I'm Tyler Metcalf. You can follow me at TMetcalf11. All our stuff, NoCeilingsNBA.com, No Ceilings on social, all that good stuff. If you enjoyed this episode, rate, review, subscribe, 5 stars. Till next time. See ya.